What's up, sports fans? Deep back, speaking on sports talk. All right, check it out. Yep, Mark. Early in the morning. So, all right, guys, couldn't sleep this morning, so talk boxing. That's the plan. Can't sleep. Let's kick it. What's up, everybody? My man Mark Unrivaled in the building. First up, yeah, man, up early as fuck. That's Mendoza. What's good with your brother? Boxing virus in the building. What's up? What's up, man? So, Speedy Rashidi Ellis is going to be in the ring this weekend. Um, Pretty active in 18. You know, he had I think 3 or 4 fights at 18. I think Rashidi Ellis is pretty interesting. I don't know if you could call him a prospect. He's 27. I mean, age doesn't really matter. He could be a prospect, but one thing for sure, he hasn't fought the top level competition, and in my opinion, ain't really been promoted very well by Oscar De La Hoya. Which you know, I don't like to bring. I never really like to bring or incorporate race into boxing, but some things can't be ignored. And in my opinion, when it comes to Oscar De La Hoya, he doesn't do a good job of promoting non-Hispanic or Latino fighters. Doesn't do a good job at it. Uh, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fighters that he has is not really at that level of talent or whatever. But hell, he had Deontay Wilder for his first 30. He was virtually unknown. He didn't know anything about him. And Deontay Wilder was never the greatest boxer, but he was knocking everybody out. Heavyweight, an American heavyweight that was knocking everybody out. He was over there with Golden Boy and virtually unknown. Rashidi Ellis is a fighter out of Philly. Very, very talented fighter with fast hands. I mean, extremely fast hands. And I think that level of talent, more people should know about him. A lot of people don't know about Rashidi Ellis for a while there. I was wondering where he was, what happened to him. He had one insignificant fight last year, and then that was it. Didn't really hear much from him. But now we get to see Rashidi Ellis again. You know, I believe it's going to be an impressive fight, but I wonder what's next for Rashidi Ellis. You guys think that a matchup between Rashidi Ellis and Virgil Ortiz would be now? The question is, and I look at it as a risk. A lot of people won't because they know about Virgil Ortiz, don't know much about Rashidi Ellis. But my question is, will Oscar De La Hoya risk that? Because I think that it's a risk to put Rashidi Ellis in there with Virgil Ortiz, right? So would Oscar take that risk and put Rashidi in that fight? Um, I expect him to get through this fight this weekend. But what's next? What's next? Is he going to fall off the map again and we don't hear or see much of him? Or are they going to step it up? Start putting him in fights that matter, start getting his name out there. Could be one of these cases where he has to leave Golden Boy like most fighters with any promise is, in my opinion, not Latino or Hispanic usually do. They get away from there because, again, this guy, all of us should know about Richie. The way I feel, he's a talented fighter. He's just that talented. Boxing virus was good, Iceman. Was good, was good. Ness Mendoza, my brother. Yeah, I hope everything good with your Ness. Let me see. When Golden Boy had Wilder, they should have put him on Canelo's undercard. They should have put him everywhere, man. I mean, he was knocking everything out. facade that the PBC built around him, uh, simply because he was knocking everyone out. You know what I mean? That's a selling point. This is where it gets into the line of the promoters to do what they're supposed to do. You know, sell these guys to the public. Easiest thing to me to sell to the casual American public is a heavyweight champion knocking everyone out. And I don't really care what his ethnic background is. If you're an American heavyweight champion and you're knocking everyone out, that's the easiest thing to sell, especially in this country, because that's what people want to see. They want to see knockouts, right? Um, Rashidi Ellis is a very exciting fighter. Like I said, his hands are extremely fast, right? They don't call him Speedy or Rashidi for no reason. This guy's a fast hand. He has good technique. He's a solid fighter, and honestly, more people should really know about him. Mike from Boston, what's good with you? In-house fight should happen. Yeah. It's pretty much set. It's going to happen. Willie Williams, what's good with you, my brother? Say good morning, D-Box Virus, nothing those on rival, no doubt. What's good, Willie? Um, we're gonna drop this link in the chat just in case any of you guys want to come kick it this morning. All right, drop it in here. Man, I couldn't sleep. I woke up a couple of hours ago, actually. Couldn't get back to sleep. I went to the store, got me a cigar, and just decided to come up here and talk a little boxing. Anyhow, this weekend is packed, man. I mean, we're in for another exciting weekend of boxing. You know, tell you the truth, a lot of good fights happening. Um, let me see here. Mark says D in 1998. I told you you'd have had a 6 foot 7 pound 225 American heavyweight with a great background story with 40 and 0, 39 KO. Told you could do a million pay per views or something. Yeah, I would say, yeah, right. No way. No way that happens. That's exactly what I would have said, Mark, because, dude, you would never think that. You would never think that. Like I said, this is the easiest, in my opinion, that's one of the easiest fighters to sell in this country. And you know, especially, you're right, Mark, an African American heavyweight. Like, just think about it. Any heavyweight that's American, right? That's a selling point right there. A selling point. We sell so much garbage in this country. To just turn the media on and listen. People buy that garbage all the time, right? This is garbage is sold in this country easily. Why wasn't Wilder known about? You know? Why wasn't Wilder known about? I said you was crazy. I said, yeah, right. No way, man. That man would sell millions and millions, but just not the case, man. 20 years later, like you said, here we go. And nobody even cares if he retires or not. No one but PBC levels and the LDBC fans. No one even cares if Wilder retired. I'm doing a live on that later. And I honestly, shout out to G Man Boxing. I think he might be finished.
I mean, G-Man Boxing should give a shout out to Mark, who told him that's the next video he should make. But yeah,
Yeah, I just think that I'm gonna do a live. I'm popping a live on that later. Um,
that's my topic. But yeah,
yeah, I mean, you know how it is. Everybody talks about the same things
no,
around
I
here.
know that. I know that.
But I just this Rashidi Ellis, I'm excited to see him. But what's next? Like, is he going to fall off the map again? Because this is his only fight in 2020, only one fight in 19. You know, Oscar
Well,
need to get on the
do you want me
ball
to
with
make
this.
do you want to make me do you want me to make you a little bit sad?
Hmm.
I think this guy's career is gonna lead up to him being fed to Virgil.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
what
think
I
that's
was
what
just saying.
I think that's what Oscar's gonna do with him. And he's a talented kid. He's got really fast hands. Moves really well. I like watching him fight. Yeah, he's a little bit chinny and shit, but for the most part, he's pretty damn exciting. You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I was promoting him, I'd be trying to build him, like, get him into those like fringe fights with those top 25 guys, top 20s, get him into and then try and work his way up, maybe enable Ramos. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he'll be fed to Virgil too.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think, to be honest, man, I got to see how he looks this week. He has been inactive, but I think at some level he offers Virgil some problems. Um, because he's a good technical boxer, but he's fast. You know that power
Right.
and that range from Virgil. I mean, we could probably expect to see what we know is going to happen, right? Uh,
Yeah.
he takes
That's
Rashidi out.
It's not like he's in there with a complete bomb. Alexis Roja can fight, man. Like that dude's coming off of a schooling victory over Brad Solomon.
Right, right,
Like he won practically every round and dropped Solomon. You know what I mean?
right, right. And that's why I want to see how Rashidi looks this weekend. Um, and I personally think he'll look impressive because he's never really fights. I've seen probably about 8 fights of his, 7 or 8 fights, and been pretty impressive in every fight. You know,
Yeah.
the layoff, not layoff, but inactivity. I mean, you could call it a layoff. He only fought once in 19. Just the inactivity though. Man, boxers
Mm.
have to box. The athletes have to play that sport, whatever sport it is. They have to be consistent with it.
I mean, like, look, Ellis is good. The only reason I question is Chin. You saw, did you do you remember when he got dropped? I think it was 2016 against Hernandez. I think it was.
Yeah,
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 that's when like the questions on that went, and that's why I'd favor Virgil because I think if you've got a little bit of a sussy chin, that's kind of like the wrong fucking dude to be getting in there with because he's if for nothing else, he's powerful, he's explosive, he's fast himself, he's not slow. Virgil ain't no slouch.
uh-uh.
Um, um, he's got hella timing, but he's aggressive as all shit. Like he's looking to try and beat the shit out of you in there. So.
Yeah, and from what I see so far, he has a decent chin himself. He ain't coming in there with no weak chin. Virgil's a tough kid, man. Tough kid, very dangerous. And I'm really impressed with Virgil as well. But Virgil's activity level, you know what I mean? This kid's been fighting. He's been fighting. Um, and he's been in the gym.
Yeah.
So just bad news for Rashidi. I don't like. Again, like I said, I don't generally like to bring. The reality is with Oscar De La Hoya, man, if you're not Latino or Hispanic, he doesn't really do well. He doesn't really
Mhm.
do well.
I mean, if you ain't Canelo, he doesn't really do well.
Yeah, yeah. Which what's going to happen when they split, right?
I
What is
mean,
going
people.
to be a golden boy when they split?
I don't know, man. But I'm just saying, I don't even know if Rashidi's going to beat Roca. Roca can box.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He can. Uh,
Like, you don't just destroy fucking. You don't just annoy like Brad Solomon like that, over 10 rounds, unless you've got something about you.
yeah, yeah. Virgil pieced him up too, didn't he?
Solomon? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Solomon can go, man. Like Solomon's got what? 3 losses: one to Virgil, one to Roja, and one to Konstantin Panamarev. You know,
Right. He hadn't been stopped before Virgil.
I mean, let me give you an idea like this. He's only ever been stopped by Virgil. I'll give you an idea. Brad Solomon's beating Adrian Granados.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know what type of level we're talking there. We're talking that fringe game. We're talking that fringe contender level. You get me, D?
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting fight, man. It's a lot of interesting fights this weekend. To tell you the truth, though,
I think there's going to be knockouts galore this weekend.
we're in
Lots of them.
for another treat. I'm pretty sure, not pretty sure, but I'm comfortable that Jaime probably gets a 9 to 12 round stoppage somewhere in between there.
Interestingly enough, the only times Brad Solomon's been stopped in his fights, not Solomon, Torino Johnson's been stopped, has been in the last round of both of his losses. I think he has 2 losses, and they've both been in the last round. I'm not trying to give away
Yeah.
predictions for free, but
No,
you know,
that's why I said, and I don't really care. They can copy. I always say that. I've always said that every season. They can copy my predictions, but that's why I said Jaime late, 9 through 12. Because of Torino's a tough guy. Jaime, although defensively irresponsible at times, that dude just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming. You know
and
what I'm saying?
if one thing that Torino doesn't like is if someone's able to stay on top of him. Like he likes to be able to box. He's a very nice boxer, Torino Johnson.
Right.
But if you can get on top of him and make him work, his gas tank is the problem. It's like Tony Harrison. You get what I mean?
Yeah, and that's Jaime Munguia. You know what I mean? That is Jaime Munguia. He's gonna stay in your face, man. He's gonna stay in your face. I'll never forget that matchup with Jaime Munguia and Takashi Inui. Man, that was a straight dog fight.
That was
Every
great.
round. It was a great fight. Every round. And both of those guys was taking hellacious punches and just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And that's why I see him putting Torino out of there late. Um, so and of course we got Alexander Usyk, Derek Chisora. Everybody's waiting for that. I don't give a shit what happens with Dave Allen, but
I'm interested.
yeah.
I'm interested in Christopher Lovejoy. I don't know. It's one of those. You know what I mean? It's one of them. It's one of them.
What I think is, I think that I don't know, man. I don't know, Mark, with that Dave Allen situation. Dave Allen, this guy, man.
I don't care about Dave Allen. It's his opponent who's 19-0 with 19 knockouts.
Knockouts, yeah, 19 knockouts.
One dude with a winning record. Half of the fights look like they're fake. We've only been able to find 1 minute of one of his fights total. He fought a dude named Michael Smith. If you go onto their box rec, right? I want to do this right now. Go on to Christopher Lovejoy's box rec, right?
All right, let me think about
it. Right, because this I found entertaining, and they'll understand it too. I think we got a ringer, right? Do you believe in ringers in boxing, D? Because it can happen. I believe in it.
You think Lovejoy is a ringer? All right, I want it.
Now go down scroll down. Right, first of all, look at his box rec photo. Okay?
Hold on, let me put this on the screen. I'll put this on the screen. Yeah, man. They don't bought in the ringer.
Let me rejoin in a second. Give me 1 second.
All right, go ahead. All right, guys, here we go. Let me blow this up a little. Oh shit. All right. I'm gonna big up this mark back in. Let me move this comment right quick.
All right. Let us have a look there at Christopher Lovejoy's photo on box rec.
All right.
Right.
Man.
Now I want you all to take that in. Look at the background, facial hair, everything, right? Now I want you to scroll down to Smith.
All right. Michael Smith. The debut right here.
Yeah. Click on Michael Smith. And tell me
Oh,
that's not Christopher Lovejoy at a different angle in the same fucking location.
wow, that's crazy. 0-1. His losses to Lovejoy. And he quit.
Tell me, Big, that that's not suspect as fuck.
Look at that shit, man.
He took the hoodie off, he even tilted his head back a little bit. It's in the same fucking location, bro.
you put a little gray in his beard and then fucking twin brothers.
How crazy is that?
Insane, man. That's insane. Yeah.
This is one of the weirdest records I've ever seen, right? Now, and as you know, like, I'm weird with that type of shit. Like, I go through a lot of stuff, right? So I went through this. I got through the first 10 fights of his career. These dudes had a combined record of like 40 knockouts in the first round, bro, against them.
Yeah, I was just looking at that 14, 1-2, 3-13, 0-7, 0-9, 4-23, 0-12, 4-27. Losers. He's fought nothing but losers, man. 6-50, 12
Now look at Dave Allen's record up there at the top. See it there, 16, 5-2, right? Right? Now just click on Dave Allen. Now look at his names on his resume, right?
All right, David Price, Lucas Brown. He's fought some pretty interesting opponents.
Nick Webb, he's beaten Nick Webb. He's beaten Lucas Brown.
Yeah.
He's been in there with Tony Yoka, Lenroy Thomas twice. He's been in there and went the distance with Dillian fucking White.
All right, went the distance with Yoka. Luis Ortiz. Wow. Yeah. I didn't even know he fought Luis Ortiz.
Dave Allen is like, look, we crap all over Allen. This dude that they found, unless he's like a Deontay Wilder sitting in the lurch that no one's ever seen, yeah? This dude's getting killed.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't even looked at the fight. Have you seen any footage? Is there any footage available for this Lovejoy
I
guy?
have seen footage. I've seen a minute of him fight. He's absolutely chronic.
Wow.
I can send that to you too as well if you'd like it.
Yeah, you can send that to me. It's like
I'll at you on Twitter. Yeah, does that work? You on Twitter? Okay.
We on Twitter, I think, already. Well, yeah, I think it's probably just if he catches Dave Allen with a shot, he could probably get him out of there. But will he be able to? That's the thing. Because Dave Allen, he's been stopped before, but the guys he's been stopped by, pretty sure, are much better boxers than this Lovejoy. So
there you go. I add you on Twitter so you could actually have a look at this dude fight.
All right. Let me see. Is there anything that'll get me strike?
Yeah, they'll put it up on your stream just in case.
All right. I don't really care about the stream, but I'm not gonna put it up. I got problems with you.
This is just for you to have a little look at yourself, Dave.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out in a little bit because I gotta do my picks anyway. I haven't even done anything. I haven't looked at any of those fights yet.
This dude is fucking trash. Where do you see his technique? Watch his tech. Are you watching his technique?
I'm waiting for. I don't even think it came through. Hold on, let me see. You sent it to me on Twitter.
Notifications. I added you. Check your notifications.
Okay. I see.
Right. Y'all just watch D's face when he watches this dude. It's either going to be disgust or pure laughter, one or the other. And he's fighting a complete bum. Like.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. He's going to get beat up.
This is pay-per-view.
He's going to get beat up, fam. That's ridiculous. He's going to get beat up.
Isn't it crazy to think that Dave Allen is miles ahead of this guy? Like, yeah,
he's going to get beat up. Wow, that's insane. That shows you knockouts mean nothing, bro. Depending on who you stop. That's
Bro,
I
I
don't even
can make
want
my dream a reality, dude. I can just go over to Mexico and to the Czech Republic, fight the worst heavyweights in the world, yeah? Go 19 and 0, 19 KOs, and call out Dave Allen.
to say I was a
I can make
prof-
my dream a reality, man.
you
I
could say I
literally
was a
can.
professional boxer that went 19-0.
I just go
Gave it
19
up
and
because I
0,
didn't
and
feel
then
like
whenever
doing it.
Tony Bellew was like, "You can't have an opinion because you're not a pro fighter or whatever," I'll be like, "Hey, I went 19 and 0, 19 KOs, bro."
Yo, I could have boxed. I got a fucking long ass reach. I could have boxed. I could have bust guys up. I had no discipline back in those days though. Working out. I quit football because of girls. Football. I said, oh man, fuck this football.
There you go.
Y'all more into the os. Diego Magdaleno is fighting, and Regis Prograis is fighting this week on Hernandez. Definitely ready to see Regis Prograis get back in after that loss from Josh Taylor. That's going to be I mean, it's just I expect Prograis to win. I haven't looked at the fight, but probably going to win. I don't, honestly, at 140, man, I don't see anybody beating Josh Taylor but Regis, vice versa.
I'll be honest with you. I'm in the same boat. I think that dude is literally like it's. Even though Ramirez has two of the belts, right? I look at it as like Taylor is 1A, Regis is 1B, and Ramirez is number 2. I really do look at it like that. I
Hmm.
really do.
Me too.
Regis is super talented. He is such a damn good fighter. After that fight with Taylor, I think everybody's stock in Regis Prograis just went through the roof. Even people who were like, "Oh, these guys haven't proven anything," and I said, "Look, listen, this is going to be a fight of the year contender. Just listen to me. The way these guys fight, you can see it. This is Regis is one of the few cases where on the eye test you could see everything. You could see how he moves. You could see his shot selection, his timing, his ability to use his up jab, his inside fighting game, his ability to move around the ring, his explosive power, his chin even. I mean, this dude just had everything. You could see it a mile away, and it was the same with Taylor. You could see it, and bro, these are special fighters. Like either one of them, the winner of that fight was going to be in the top 10 pound for pound. It didn't
Yeah,
matter who. It didn't matter who it was. They were both going to end up in there.
yeah. I don't know, JD, because Aaron's got to step it up, man. I wouldn't want to send Rashidi over there from Oscar to Aaron. And Aaron, yeah, I've been high on Aaron, but Aaron's been shit here lately. You know,
Hearn
um,
doesn't have a lot of welterweight options either.
yeah, right. That's another thing. So I hate to send anybody to the PBC, but that's where all the action is in the welterweight division.
If you're a welterweight, look, I would send you to the PBC.
Right.
They've got all the French journeymen, man. You get the Josecito Lopez's, you can get Abel Ramos, who just fought over there. Thomas Delarme just fought over there. I mean, there's a lot of dudes to fight.
Right.
Jamal James and shit. Like, fucking hell. That's before getting up to the full world level. They've
You
got a
got the
lot there.
guy. You got that kid Blair Cobb,
Yeah.
another one, interesting fighter. I don't think he's great, but he can make it tough for people because of
He's
his move.
interesting, isn't he? He's
Yeah,
he's
he's
a good
very, very
character.
interesting fighter. Got a
He's a
little
good
power
character.
with him. He's got a little power with him too.
Him and
Yeah.
Speedy Rashidi would be a fun fight.
Hmm. Hmm. I like Jamal James too. I wish Jamal James had just a tad more power. If Jamal James had a tad more power, he would be really dangerous for a lot of guys
He'd
because
be
he's
nice, eh?
rangy. He can pop. I mean, he can box. He's rangy. He's tall. I like Jamal James, but he just lacks power. He lacks power. But he's a really decent boxer. But I agree with you. Like I said, I hate to send anybody to the PBC, but if you're a welterweight, man, it's probably the best landing spot in boxing right now is the PBC. You know,
Just
but
like
it's
if you're a light heavy, go to top rank.
for sure, for sure.
You know what I mean?
So, then if you're middleweight, it's all fucked up. You could probably go anywhere. You're gonna have problems no
If you're
matter where
from,
you go.
in my opinion, if you're from middleweight to super middleweight, go to the zone.
It's only thing.
Well, I would say that, but none of those dudes are fucking fighting each other. Because look, you've got
Yeah.
Andre Jacobs, Saunders, Callum Smith, John Ryder over there.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? That's a lot.
It's just a clusterfuck at middleweight. You know what I mean? And you probably not in good shape no matter where you land in the
Do you know what
middleweight
you should do
division.
if you're a middleweight? Cut
Stay
down to
away from
100.
Golden Boy, that's for sure. What's
No,
up?
cut down to 154 pounds and go to the PPC.
It's a lot of action there, and it's not a wide gap between those guys. Definitely a lot of action at 154. Not a wide gap. I mean, I put Jamel at the top, but I mean, let's be honest. After healing and a good rematch with, would be a good rematch with him and Rosario. I think he and Jarrett Hurd would be a nice fight. Jamel
All
and
those
Lara.
dudes can beat each other. All those dudes can beat each other. Jarrett Horde, even J Rock. I mean, with Castano, even old man Lara can beat.
Israel Landy Lara. Yeah, exactly. You think that because
That division's
Jamel,
fire. That
you,
division's fucking fire. I don't
yeah,
care what anyone say. We get great fights. Could
you
look.
know that
Could you?
after he beat Tony Harrison, he called out Jarrett Hurd and Iris Landy Lara first. Of course, he wanted the Jason Rosario fight, but he called those names out first. So, wouldn't it be
Look, B.
interesting to see him catch the winner of Castano and Texeria?
I'd,
And then,
I, I'd, I'd rather that. I would rather him go for the undisputed. Let me
yeah,
just say this, right? Could you imagine the card they could put on an undisputed card out? Just all 154 pounders, right? All of the PBC. If Castano beats Teixeira, they can have Jermel Charlo versus Teixeira. They can put Rosario on versus fucking Horde, and they can put J Rock on versus Harrison, and they could they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can get Michel Sorrow in that ring with fucking what's his face, Arizlandi Larry, you know?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
They've just got
Yeah.
everything, man. And Jackal K's fought over at the PBC a few times too. They could bring Jackal K over there. They could have him on that card too. Like, they've got a lot.
Jack O'Kay is tough for down there anyway. He's an awkward fighter, and he doesn't make it easy for anybody he gets in the ring with, right?
I'll be honest, I thought he lost his last fight though. Even though he got the W, I thought he lost against Abbas Peru.
Yeah,
That was sad to see. That was
that
sad
guy.
to see.
He's hard to judge, right? The fights he's in sometimes are hard to judge.
That wasn't one that was hard to judge. That was
Yeah.
a lot of people call that one of the robberies of the year. That wasn't hard to judge. That was clear.
I know I won't say in that fight, but I just meant like fights that Cole K have been in, because of the way he fights. It's hard to
He's
judge,
like Porter he's a little like Porter in a weird way, as in like he gets off a lot of good work, but it's kind of hard to see. You really need to focus on it.
right.
And he will beat you up on the inside in the pocket. He's so intellectual in the pocket, very intellectual in the pocket, smart fighter, very well schooled.
Right.
Ask Derevianchenko. Anyone who ain't seen Kulke versus Derevianchenko, go give it a watch. You'll see just what level Kulke is really at.
Indeed. Nick Harmer, yeah, I'm up early this morning. So another thing I want to talk about is, I was just thinking about this Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank Davis, and not the fight in itself, but the 74.99. Like, dude, that Jamal Charlo card, Charlo doubleheader. To me, I didn't see the value in 74.95 with that card. But the card in general actually ended up being a pretty nice card, right?
Yeah.
But you couldn't foretell that before you seen the card. Prior to seeing the card, it's like, bro, this is not worth $74.99. Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, in my opinion, it's worth less than that. Because I wanted to see Jamal fight. I wanted to see Jamal finally step up and fight a valid middleweight. I don't want to see Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. I really don't. You know what I'm saying?
let me say this, right? Casemiro was on that card, a 3-weight world champion. Danny Roman versus Poyano, a former 2-time world title contender versus a former unified champion, right? Was on that card. Lewis Neary was fighting Alameda. Neary was bidding to become a 2-weight world champion in that fight, right? Did you see where Brandon Figueroa, a regular world title fight on that card, right? You had a 3-belt unification and 2 top 10 middleweights in a title defense against one another. And now we've got Tank versus Santa Cruz, so a lightweight versus a featherweight, right? And Regis Prograis on the return of Mario Barrios versus Heraldez or something. No, Ryan Carl versus Ryan Carl. I mean, that card should have been Regis Prograis versus Mario Barrios.
Yeah, at least a co-main, right?
Yeah.
Or hell, even well, it couldn't have been Naoya because he's top one. That's the ESPN card, but yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. I just like the fact that we have action from ESPN on and PBC this weekend because who knows? I mean, Mario Barrios, Ryan Carl, and Progress Fight, they, they did a good job with fights on the card. I will say that because I don't want to see Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. I gotta keep saying that, man, because I have no intrigue in this fight. I don't, they're pumping the fight up, but bro, even with beats like last night, I'm kind of glad I came in at the end of that live because I really didn't want to go back and forth with beats. I've been going back and forth with so many people. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying these wolf
And
tickets that they're
Beat,
selling.
Beats just thinks Leo has a really good chin and he won't get stopped, but I think he still favors Tank. But he thinks Leo can make it difficult as the fight goes on. And
Right.
I can kind of see it if Tank comes in really out of shape and he's not. Like, if he does come in badly, if he comes in badly, it could be a rough night. But if he comes in anyway decent, like 75% of himself, Leo's getting fucked. He's getting
He is.
fucked.
He is. And I was
It's
talking
just a
to
bad
show.
style. It's a bad style matchup.
I was talking to Showbiz, and shout out to Showbiz. He's somewhat commercial now. He's trying to promote the sport of boxing. Some of his ideas on things are and the love of promoting the sport of boxing. Well, let's be honest. Leo Santa Cruz is the toughest opponent Tank Davis has ever faced, and I don't agree with that. I honestly think that Gambo and Pedraza are tougher than Leo Santa Cruz. I really think they are. And you look at Pedraza, you know, and then we just talk about like Pedraza's a good boxer. It's not like this is a guy that can't box. He's a good boxer, and when you look at his durability, we just seen what Zepeda did to Baranchik. We seen this shit. He didn't stop Pedraza. He didn't stop Pedraza. Lomachenko didn't stop Pedraza. Pedraza
Can I
was
can I
Tank
say one thing?
Davis's most okay. Yeah, I just think that was his toughest fight. But
Well, I do think like what he's gone on to do is great, but context is always pivotal at a time. Pedraza had been struggling to make that weight for quite a while, and from what we heard at the time, afterwards, he was on like getting his blood sugars up and everything. They dropped really low. He was throwing up and everything, so he was heavily weight trained in the fight. That's what we did here.
right,
So, and context is pivotal. That's not to take away out from Tank because it is his best win, but and that's not the same dude that we're seeing fighting Zepeda.
yeah. Well, I will agree with that. I will definitely agree with that, which is why he had to, move up. But uh, what would we say? What would we say about Vasil Lomachenko? You know what I mean? Are we going to say, okay,
He still moved up to fight for Seal. That was at
he,
135.
that's what I mean, though. You know,
Yeah.
he moved up. I mean, I don't know, man.
That
I
type of
don't know.
stuff can be very helpful to you, like if you really need it. And he was one of those dudes who really needed it. So I mean, like if Loma had fought that guy, the Tank fought, I think Loma would have stopped him early because
Yeah,
that guy was sick. He was sick. He was sick.
yeah.
He like actually, if you haven't looked at it, go look at Gervonta Davis Pedraza weigh-in. Like
All right.
even Google images and have a look. Like Pedraza versus Tank weigh-in.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. But with this Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis, it's sort of like Danny Garcia and Errol Spence in this sense. The question of Errol Spence, the majority, most people, the question is chin, right?
Mm-hmm.
If his chin is solid, he wins the fight. I think that's the out there. But with Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, the main question, because I hear what Leo Santa Cruz can bring to the table, and then I hear what people are saying about Tank. The main question is struggling to make weight. And the 5 days ago, the freaking workout session that he did with Floyd Mayweather, where Floyd talked about his goddamn self most of the time, we did get the information that Tank was at 134. 134, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this dude is going to be on weight. This dude is going to be healthy in this fight. I don't think that Tank, this whole, I think it's a misnomer that Tank Davis and that struggling of weight problem, he couldn't even make 130 before. To me, that was purely lack of discipline. Tank's not a super big guy. He's 25
Can
years
you
old.
full screen it? Can you full screen it?
Full screen, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lack of discipline, man. That's all.
That's that's Jose Pedraza at the Tank weigh-in. He
Yeah.
looks borderline anorexic, man.
Yeah, he does look sick. Yeah, he does. He does. But that's a part of the facade, Mark. That's the thing that I'm talking about. They build these fights up like this, right? Probably knew the dude was going to be drained or whatever, but this is what they're doing with Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, listen, man.
Look,
How
look,
many
listen.
times in boxing have we seen, guys at lower weights, good chins, and then they step up one weight class too many?
Look, mate, look. Whenever I hear Tank fans say, look at what Tank did to Pedraza and Loma wasn't able to do that, and Tiafimo wasn't able to stop Loma. This is the face I make. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh shit, man.
That's the face I make, bro. If you put that sick ass Pedraza in front of Tiafimo, he gets killed.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Demolished. Junior says if the PBC didn't have some of the belts, would they have good competition or we even see them fight out of the network or fight each other? I think we would. I think the belts is what gives them the leverage to do the dumb shit that they do. If they didn't have any belts, then they would have no choice but guys out there to compete. When you got a lot of belts like that and you have a lot of champions, then you can play these games, these politics games, and keep fights in house. And so I think that we would see. I think that those guys. Listen, there is this there is this continuous thing that we see from people guys chasing money versus legacy, but I'm not gonna knock all of these fighters. A lot of these fighters can fight, they're just not challenging themselves. So without those belts, they will have no choice but to challenge themselves. And I think that they have talented fighters, but to increase your talent better, fight people on your level or better than you. And this is what they're not doing. But if they don't have all this hardware over there, then they have no choice but to be nothing in boxing or try to get some titles. So I think we would still see competition. I think they would cross the street, Junior, because they would have no choice. What do you think about that, Mark?
I was on mute. I was saying I agree with you. You can't put it any better than how Deep put it. I'm not rewording it. I would literally just be rewording and saying the same thing.
Right, right, yeah. Leo is tougher in his own weight, uh, like Loma coming up in weight. But see, this is the thing, man. I don't like hearing that shit with Leo and Lomachenko. Leo is not a Lomachenko. Not, bro. Like this is that I keep hearing this comparison. Well, Loma, we see what Loma did with Tio. Two things. Tank ain't no fucking Teofimo Lopez. Leo Santa Cruz is far, far from a Lomachenko. Far from a Lomachenko. Uh, guys, okay, imagine this, guys. Imagine Lomachenko in the ring with Leo Santa Cruz at 126. Imagine how that would go. Imagine that. I don't see anything that Leo does in the ring at 126 when Lomachenko's at one to offer Lomachenko any kind of problem or resistance. Lomachenko, in my opinion, is a one-sided fight. Whether it be for 12 rounds, Lomachenko make him quit on the stool, whatever. I look at that fight with Lomachenko and Leo Santa Cruz at 126, and it's Lomachenko all day. Easy work. So this comparison with Lomachenko and Leo Santa Cruz, like, what are we talking about here? Leo Santa Cruz is not that. He's not that type of boxer. The skill level, the skill level difference between Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis is much more narrow, in my opinion, than the skill set of Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. Lomachenko was here when it comes to skill set versus Teofimo. Leo Santa Cruz and Tank is about like here. The flaws that Leo has, Tank has, better skills in that department, and then vice versa. But their skill set is not that far apart. And hand speed, I, me personally, Mark, tell me if I'm looking at this wrong. I think Tank has better hand speed than Leo Santa Cruz. Maybe I'm missing something. What do you think about that?
Okay, so this is just my thoughts, right? Singular shots, no. Singular shots, no. In full flow combination, this isn't Leo at feather. Leo at 130, yeah. Leo at Leo who fought Carl Frampton, no. No way, no. No, he doesn't have faster hands than the dude who fought Frampton.
Right.
But the dude for the last year or so, late in feather and up at super feather, yeah, Tank's hand speed combinations, even against Gamboa when he let his hands go, were faster than what Leo was able to put up. Yeah.
Right. I don't think that a lot of people are looking at this. I looked at uh, the Miguel Flores fight.
hmm
That's what I'm
I've watched it
measuring.
4 times actually because I really and this will give you an idea, for anyone who doesn't know. I literally pointed something out the dead game while he was watching it, and I wasn't even watching at the screen. And he literally goes, "He just did it."
Yeah, it was on my live. It was on my
Yeah.
live. Yeah, yeah, and that's my thing. Like I looked at that fight probably. I only watched it twice. I didn't watch it 4 times. It only took me 2 times to watch that fight, and I'm like, man, I don't know. The Abner Morris fight. Okay, let's talk about after Paul Frampton fight. This is at 126. That what was that guy's name after Frampton? Chris. Goddamn, I can't remember. It was Chris something.
Sorry, I'm getting lost.
Whereas
What were you asking?
the fight Leo had after Carl Frampton was Chris Barris or something like that.
Avalos, then Mares.
Right, him. Okay. Oh, you look at that fight, then it was Abner Morris and Rafael Rivera. I know that. Before he moved up and fought Miguel Flores. I don't
hmm
know if it's just me, but Leo started to slow down.
Yeah.
After the Carl Frampton fight, now this was at 126. Leo started to slow down. And then so when I look at the Miguel Flores fight, all of this work rate and all of these great things that Leo Santa Cruz was doing at 126, that slowed down. It slowed down. And I don't think that people are paying enough attention to the Miguel Flores. That's where I think people are going wrong because they're not paying attention. Look, man, Lomachenko, 26, and 130s. Like I said, he's doing the fancy spinning of the guys, retiring them on stools, the matador in the ring. He got to 135. Wasn't none of that bullshit. That shit slowed down. Some of it stopped. Like the matador, he won't play no games with no one at 135. Probably played around with Corolla, but he's not a great boxer. He wasn't playing games. This is only going to be Leo Santa Cruz's second fight at 130. I didn't like what I seen against Flores. Now we're talking about his second fight at 130. I think it's over for Leo Santa Cruz. What I'm seeing in Tank Davis, all right? What I've been watching in Tank Davis, way before he started training camp in this fight, this dude is showing a different level of dedication, desire, right? And it only comes from jealousies. I don't care what none of these fans say. It comes from jealousies. Because Floyd's little bitch. Let's get this thing straight. Floyd little bitch. Floyd is like daddy to Tank. He wants to please daddy. Okay? That whole Devin Haney situation with Floyd flaunting them around, taking them to expensive dinners, flying them on the jet, working with him in the gym. That shit sparked something in Tank. And all of that foolishness Tank was doing. Stop that. The dude stayed in the gym. Every fucking post I was looking at, I used to see posts with Tank Davis because I've been following Tank for years. I used to be a big fan of his. Every post I see him put up after this Devin Haney situation, this dude's in the gym. He's running on the damn street, jumping the road, sparring, hitting the mitts. That's all I've been seeing from Tank. None of this fucking dancing with Adrian Broner, kissing him on the cheek, fucking getting beat up by his girlfriend after a drunk night at the club. None of this. I'm not seeing none of this. And everybody is leaning on those, right? They're not paying attention to the Miguel Flores fight. They're not paying attention to Tank's habits coming into this fight. And you was on that live that I put up when I put up Tank's picture. He was sitting there posing. Man, you can tell me Photoshop or whatever the fuck you want. We've never seen Tank look that good that far before a fight. I cannot remember him looking that good that far before a fight. And this is a fight with another smaller guy. The reality is Tank Davis is a 135-pound champion, regardless of if it was Gamboa. He compete there. Most people understand it. He gives Ryan problems, Devin problems, even Teofimo some problems. This is Leo Santa Cruz. Do we think at any second Leo Santa Cruz bounces to 135 and give any of those three guys problems? No, no. He's not going to give Devin Haney any problems. He wouldn't give Teofimo any problems. He wouldn't give Ryan Garcia any problems. He would get beaten easily. This is a Tank Davis that can compete with those guys, right? Leo is just moving up to 135. Tank was destroying smaller guys from 126 at 135. At 130. He was beating them up. Beating them up. Man.
Destroying them.
It's just I don't see it, man. This is just all hype. And what's surprising to me is that so many guys that really have good boxing minds, it just feels like to me a lot of these guys are falling for this hype, for this hype on this fight. This is another WWE event that Floyd and Ellaby are selling the boxing fans. That's all it is, man. Foregone conclusion, in my opinion, who wins this fight. And then all of this nonsense, well, Leo can get him past 7 or 8. Tank's gonna have no, he's not. He'll just knock him out in 9 or 10. that's
Oh
that's
wow!
how I see it. If Leo gets him
I
past
just
7 or 8, Tank just knocked him out in 9 or 10.
did you see Dead Games comment there in the chat first?
Got Leo. That game was trying to hype this fight. He's on the hype train. He's been trying to do it the whole time. I just think this is an interesting fight. I just think it's going to be a good fight. That's all a part of everybody else trying to hype this fucking fight.
It'll
No,
look. It'll be a solid enough fight. It's just not like it's not something that gets me enthralled, man. Like I kind of have like an idea on how the fight's gonna go.
me too. And that game, he must have been drinking earlier this morning. Fucking Leo over Loma at 126. Man, stop that shit. Stop that shit. If Leo was over, see, this is a part of the narrative pushing this shit to make this hype this fight up with Tank. And here's the reality of it, dead game. If Leo was over Lomachenko, say he was over Lomachenko, but if he was over Lomachenko, if he was that caliber boxer, we would have been had the Gary Russell fight. We would have been had that. Between Leo, his team, and himself, he knows Gary Russell's a very dangerous opponent for him. But if he was over Lomachenko, like you say, that game, the fuck did they did not have that fight with Gary Russell for? Okay? I mean, the dude totally disrespect. Look, in the streets and boxing or whatever, my sick dad, you come playing those games with my sick dad, we getting into it. He still didn't fight that game. He still didn't fight me, Russell. Playing those fucking games with his sick father. I mean, I know one thing is personal and business, but this is boxing, man. Everything's personal to these fighters. Snap each other, they ready to spit in each other's face. Come on, this is the boxing game, man. Combat sports. That was totally disrespectful what Gary Russell did with Leo Santa Cruz's father. Totally disrespectful. Nothing else could put you into a fight besides some shit like that. The dude was literally sick. He's passed now, so we know he was sick. And you telling me that Leo over Lomachenko, that's why you don't predict a lot of fights right, because you fall for the hype. But this ain't gonna be the last fight that you predict wrong if you don't stop falling for that goddamn hype. I'll tell you that. I'm not that wild to compare their skills. You should know that by now. I have Lopez whooping Tank and Leo easy. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if he whoops Tank easy, but I think he whoops his ass. Tank has a lot of things that Tank's fast, man. And, uh, and he has skills. That's one thing about it. Listen, the reason Tank is not improving is because of fights like he's getting ready to get into right now. That's why Tank's not improving. They're not putting him in the ring with anyone who's going to test him. Gamboa did not test Tank Davis. Davis was out of shape, undisciplined, and not in the gym before that fight. That was it. It wasn't that Gamboa tested Tank. Tank was doing what Tank usually does, fucking around. Gamboa didn't test him. Tank has not been in a ring with anybody to test him. No one. And Leo ain't gonna be the one. Leo's not gonna be the one to test Tank. It's just like me and Mark just said. At 130, what did he do to every guy coming up from 126? Essentially, you guys have to understand that Miguel Flores fight, which was not impressive to me by Leo, that's his only fight at 130. He is essentially a guy coming up from 126. So that's like to go on history and his lack of discipline. Even throughout his lack of discipline, getting beat up by his hood rat girlfriend, dancing and getting drunk and fat in between fights, he was still demolishing guys at 130 that were coming up from 126. Even with that discipline, this is what he was doing to guys. What chance do Leo Santa Cruz have, man? What chance does he have? I want to go on history. We'll go on history. Tank was doing all of that shit, getting fat in between fights. He was still demolishing guys coming up from 126. Now, if Leo was a Lomachenko, then okay, I would be thinking about it. He ain't no goddamn Lomachenko. Tank's gonna destroy that dude. I don't even bet, but I'm willing to bet money on it. He's gonna destroy him. Destroy him. That's one of those bets, Mark. I think this is one of those bets. Remember that bet you took, Boatsi versus Bevo? It happens. That's how I
That's how
look.
you feel.
That's how I feel about this fight. That's exactly how I feel about this fight. No intrigue.
As in, like, it's not the worst fight ever, but like you know who wins, pretty much.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not, I'm not going to say it's the worst fight ever. It's not. But I cannot pull out of me. I'm trying to pull out of me. When I'm looking at this fight, when I'm doing the film on it, I'm trying to pull out of me what can Leo do to win this fight? And I can't pull it in. I can't pull it in.
I have actually been able to pull things out that he could do that could win him the fight. Right?
Break it down for me. Help me out here, fam.
That I have seen him do, right? And he now the first thing is when he fought Abner, right? You'll notice that when he fought Abner, when he was mid range with Abner, what he did was instead of ducking his head down, he would push the left hook to get himself out of the pocket, right? And then as Abner would walk forward, he would throw an uppercut to the midriff and then circle out again. And then he'd double up the jab to get inside. And then he'd keep the high guard really steady and tuck the elbows inward to block the uppercut. That's the very first thing, right? He did it against Abner. But Abner took it away. And the reason Abner took it away is he was able to use the lead right hook, right? So he changed the stance a bit and he used the lead right hook. And that's one of the most underrated weapons Tank has is turning his jab into a hook and coming around you explosively. So he could do that to confuse Tank a little bit to get rid of the uppercut. But that's it. That's it, D. That's all I got. But that's his best bet.
My thing with that is like those hooks. Uh, hooks she was talking about. Those hooks, right? What kind of damage or effect would it take on Tank?
It's not about the damage. It's about taking the uppercut out of the equation. You get me?
Yeah.
Because even if he can't damage Tank massively, taking away what Tank can do to damage you massively is his best chance. And I would rather deal with Tank's right hook than his left uppercut.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I would also get Leo to double his jab to the body whenever he can, to the chest, to test that stamina.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know, man. I'm picking knockout. And you just might. The only decision I had was 5 or 6. So that might push it to 6. I said about that.
You breaking up, D? What you say?
I said, my bad. I said that my decision or the way I was trying to decide this fight is Tank about 5 or 6. And what you just told me pushes it.
What I told you pushes it to which round? 7?
6.
6? Yeah.
I was only at 5 or 6. That was it.
But what I will say is that is something Leo has done and can do, you know?
Yeah.
So, but once again, that was against a guy who doesn't punch as hard. So, yeah, sure, Abner couldn't get that uppercut through. Tank might just fucking pierce right through you. You know what I mean? So, there's not a fuck ton of things he can do, man, to be honest.
And think about this, Mark. Think about this. Think about Nunes, right?
Yeah.
Fight Nunes, right? Nunes hits hard. He hits hard. Even Tank admitted that he was like, that dude's got power. He hits harder than I thought he would. Leo don't hit hard. He just simply doesn't hit hard.
No, but Leo's like got better movement and positioning. You get what I mean? So Leo's gonna have to make complete use of his legs and his guard to the best of his ability. And he's just gonna need to be smart while exchanging.
Oh man, how does Leo? Another thing. Uh, Leo stylistically, man, that just seemed like a field day for Tank Davis,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Stylistically, a guy that fights like Leo Santa Cruz, to me, that just seems like a field day for Tank Davis because Leo can move. I'm not saying that he's just some stiff jerk that comes in there straightforward, but a lot of times he leads with his fucking head, man.
Yeah. Leo's a damn good fighter, man. Look, but this ain't the right way.
It's not. Do you think he's trying to cash out?
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was thinking maybe Leo Santa Cruz is trying to cash out.
I think he's getting a solid 2 million for this fight, man.
Right. Right.
And two fighters, I think he's getting more.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanna see Naoya Inoue beat the shit out of Luis Neri. I want to see Naoya Inoue beat the shit out of Luis Neri, man.
you and the whole country of Japan, D.
I have a disdain. I usually don't have a disdain for boxing. And it's not because he fucked up my parlay that was so sweet. That son of a bitch, all he had to do was get a stop. But it's not because of that. I just don't think, I'm just not high on Luis Neri, especially after the Almeida fight. As a matter of fact, I'm high on Almeida. I think he made a good showing of himself versus Luis Neri. Uh,
He made a great showing of himself,
yeah,
man.
very, very, very good showing. Jake Kyle, what's up, fam? But when it comes to Luis Theory, no, I'm not impressed.
No,
No,
you don't see it.
no, I don't see it. Man. I don't see it. And when he,
I haven't seen it since he ended up losing the title the first time on the scales. I haven't seen it since then. I mean, when he went over to Japan and beat the shit out of Yamanaka, I could see it. You know what I mean?
that's where I was interested in him.
Because
Yamanaka.
Yamanaka was a beast.
Yeah, that's where I became interested in Luis Neri. I never became a fan. I never fell into the hype. I was okay. Maybe he's got something with him.
Yep.
And after that fight, I was like, no, no, dial off again. Dial off. You know.
But let's see. I'll give him a little bit of time, adapting to his new style and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
And maybe Almeida's just very, very fucking good. You know,
I
maybe
think
he's
he
just
is.
extremely good. I'll
I
be
think
honest,
he is.
he's one of those dudes, bro, that comes out of Mexico fighting nobody. Billy Christopher Lovejoy.
Oh,
But he actually is good.
yeah, he is.
Talented. Very defensively gifted, actually. Very defensive.
And he's got a chin on him. Because I will say Luis Neri's got pop. I will give him that. And Almeida took some real good flush shots from him. So got a decent chin on him. You know, the fact that that's the kind of fight. Now I'm talking Almeida now, right? That's the kind of fight that takes you to another level, right? That fight that he lost to Luis Neri. That's the type of fight that takes you to another level. Luis Neri is uh, a good transition from domestic level to, a guy that's considerably on world level. And Almeida had a great showing of himself. You know, Teofimo Lopez, Masao Nakatani take you to that next level, right? That's why I'm so interested on what happens with Teofimo from here because Lomachenko, if Masayoshi Nakatani takes you to another level and you get through that fight, where does Lomachenko take you? Right? That takes you to an even higher level. So, boy, my guy Teofimo, the sky's the limits for this kid. I, Alameda, for sure. I think he's going to be a good fighter. I think he's going to be a good fighter. Fuck Luis Neary.
Do you know who Luis Neary might be fighting next?
Who?
Danny Roman.
Good fight. Good fight.
Neither guy thoroughly impressed me the last week.
Right. Good fight. I say 50-50 fight, to tell you the truth.
Good fight. Competitive. What we need. It's what we need. Competitive.
All right, you just made me jealous. I'm getting ready to go indulge. I just wanted to pop a little early morning live. Come kick it with you guys for a little bit. Mark just made me jealous, and he's making me end the live because I know what he's doing behind that Teofimo face.
I dare not. I'm not down low for them.
Oh shit! Hey, all right, guys. I already got the live set for 12 o'clock. We're gonna be talking about Deontay Wilder today. Hopefully, we can get smoked and deep boxing in these guys in here, so I could chop them up today. Well, these guys, I'm gonna tell you something. I really appreciate you, that game. You out there in the panel. Appreciate you, fam, coming through the lives and all of you guys that come through with opposition. Mark, did you catch any of my live yesterday?
No, I don't think so, mate.
Bro, look, it was an historical event yesterday. Did you not even gonna fucking believe this? E. Jefferson and Monty Brown was going to bat together on the same team.
You know, I wish I could understand, but I'm actually going to say this and be honest with you, man. I actually don't know who Monty is. I've heard of him.
Okay.
I've never seen any of his videos.
Okay. Monty Brown is he's his own.
I think I heard something like y'all had a little beef or something at one point.
It wasn't really a beef. You know me, I don't really beef with it. But
but you know what I mean by beef.
Yeah, right. We were going back and forth with each other, right? We were doing that, going back and forth. I went on his live, debated him. He came on my live, debated me, and talking a little shit back and forth. But I said it yesterday. I was like, bro, this is historical because I never thought in a million years that I would be up here cooking Monty Brown. You know what I mean? And we was just in sync. But here's the thing. You know how Smoke is with Deontay Wilder?
Yeah.
That's how Monty Brown is with Errol Spence. And I was defending my guy Errol Spence, so that should put some context in it.
Okay.
But anyway, everybody, Mark, appreciate you always, brother. And everybody else, appreciate you guys. Make sure y'all hit that like for me. I see like y'all flying in now, but I'm getting ready to cut this one out. At 12 o'clock, guys. 12 o'clock. We're talking Deontay Wilder today. Should be pretty exciting. Appreciate you, Mark. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Y'all know how I always do this thing. For the love of sport. Talk about it. Peace.